In Calabar, the capital city of Cross River State, a beautiful banker named Martha met her heartthrob, Duke. Handsome, caring but mysterious. He gave her the world, but years later, a dark truth would shake her destiny. Watch and share your advice for Martha. They say death ends a story. But for Martha, it was only the beginning. The funeral in Calabar wasn't supposed to change her life. She barely knew the cousin being buried that day. But grief has a way of putting hearts in strange places. And that's exactly where she met him. Duke. He was impossible to ignore. Elegant suit. Calm confidence. And eyes that looked like they'd lived 1,000 lives. He told her he'd flown in from the UK for the burial of a colleague. Another man who died in the same tragic crash. From that first handshake, something clicked. Not flirtation, no. It was deeper, like they already knew each other from somewhere. He spoke with intellect, moved with charm, and listened like he'd been waiting for her. One dinner turned to three. Three turned into long walks through quiet streets. By the time Martha left Calabar, her heart was no longer hers. Days later, her phone buzzed. It was him. Lagos is calling, he wrote. Come see the future. She didn't think twice. Requested casual leave from the bank, packed her bag, and flew. Duke met her at the airport in a luxury car, still glowing with that strange serenity. Within a week, he proposed. She should have hesitated. But his love felt like gravity, something pulling her toward him with no resistance. But after the ring came the silence. No family introductions. Only two friends came that couldn't be traced. No traditions, no cousins, no roots. She asked once, and he smiled. I wasn't raised here. It's just me. I don't do all that. One night, she rested her head on his chest. But something was off. There was no sound. No rise. No fall. No heartbeat. She told herself it was exhaustion. Stress. Imagination. Anything but what it really was. Time passed. They had children, 2 sons. And yet, not a single visitor. No calls from his side. No family photos. Not even childhood stories. And then came a dream. A voice whispering. Go back to Calabar. So she went. Alone. Asking around, following his initial description. Until someone pointed her to one compound with natural serenity. She knocked. An old woman answered. Martha asked for Duke. And the woman fainted. Then others gathered. One man whispered. That boy's been dead for years. Buried after a plane crash with his colleague. Another woman, trembling, asked. What do you mean you married him? He's gone, buried, long time now. Martha stood still, barely breathing. She opened her phone. Showed pictures of Duke with their children. The crowd stepped back like they'd seen a ghost. Back in Lagos. He was waiting. By the window. Watching their children play like any caring father would. She looked into his eyes and asked, Who are you, really? And he said, You gave me something even death couldn't take, a reason to stay, and he disappeared. Even the kids could feel a sharp warm breeze passing by. By the time Martha uncovered the truth, it was already too late to walk away. Because Duke didn't just come back for love. He returned with vision. According to the story, together, they had started building something massive. A food processing empire. Martha's dream. Fueled by her background in food technology. And funded entirely by Duke's mysterious wealth. The last time she checked, over 50 million naira was in her care for raw materials alone. Construction was almost complete. She holds the keys to the factory. She holds all the money. And every night, she imagines a lot, even when Duke doesn't harm her. So tell me, if you were Martha, what would you do? Would you keep the properties for your sons? Or run while you still can?